Hello, and welcome. It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. And today, what I'm going to do is talk to you about how to print your profits, specifically when it comes to creating coloring books. If you had an opportunity to join me, I hosted the Print Your Profits weekend workshop here in North Carolina last weekend. And to complement that, we're doing our virtual workshop today. So let's jump in. The agenda. Creating coloring books is one of many digital self-publishing projects that you can work on. I remember several years ago, and this definitely was before I had my son. So I'm 44 now. I was in my early 20s, and I remember sharing with my hubby a book of poems that I created. And he said to me, "You should turn this into a book." And me, being me, I wasn't necessarily into, traditional publishing and trying to, pitch to different companies. So I did some research, went to Barnes & Nobles, and discovered self-publishing. That is where my story began. Digital self-publishing, print on demand, being able to lay out, customize, create my own books, publish them, and offer them to my audience. So fast forward 20 plus years later, I'm still doing it, right? So whether it be a, traditional paperback book, fiction, nonfiction, learning, any type of book that is inside of you, if you'd like to create your amazing and, of course, tap into revenue, that's what we're all about as part of the Print Your Profits experience. So literally what you see here is the Minding My Business coloring journal. I knocked this out literally 4 o'clock this morning. So I can share a visual example with you. That, by the way, is gifted to you. You can download it and see all the goodies in there. But I want to be able to more importantly share how you can create your own digital and print on demand books as well. So the agenda, digital products. First and foremost, hopefully you know that anything that you produce in PDF format, right, you can offer it to your audience as a digital product, but then also physical. So in the case of something like this coloring book, your audience, your clients can print it out at home. They can go to their local Office Depot, Staples, things of that nature, or literally they can use it digitally. There are lots of apps. One of my favorites is GoodNotes, on which you can upload things like a digital coloring book or a planner, and then literally on your tablet be able to use your your finger or your stylus and actually write, type, color in, all the things. So old school is printing, right? My son is about to be 18. I remember when we found out he was dyslexic and he was maybe about 4 or 5, I went on the internet and I was downloading all of these learning activities for him and printing them out, right? That's still a thing, creating printables, but you could also give people the opportunity nowadays to use your content in digital platforms as well. So digital product projects, print on demand projects. Hopefully you are familiar with POD, but if you're not, long story short, print on demand, digital self-publishing created a space for us many, many moons ago to be able to print our products in small increments. So usually if you were going with a traditional publisher or even going to a printing house and giving them your book project, you would have to print hundreds, if not thousands, of copies, and that was a huge upfront investment. Nowadays, we have platforms like Lulu and Amazon and Sparks, where you literally can purchase a small number of your product that is printed on demand, which makes it much more realistic and budget friendly for entrepreneurs like us to get into digital self-publishing, okay? So working on this as both a digital and print-on-demand project is a goal of mine, number one. Number 2, showing you how to master making mini offers. Because yes, you can create a coloring book that is 60 pages, 100, 200 plus pages, but you could also consider this to be a mini. I call minis irresistible digital products that are bite-sized, easy for you to create and for your audience to consume. So to consider that not only could you create a larger coloring book, but you could do something on the smaller end, 20 pages, 30 pages, even to be honest with you, 8 to 12 pages, and then offer that to your audience in a myriad of ways. And we're going to talk about those different ways today, especially when it comes to recurring revenue, right? So being able to create print and digital recurring revenue offers, that's something that's a big topic for us. Being able to work on your book marketing efforts. Do I have any current authors in the building? Just say me if you are an author. One of the things that you can do when it comes to credibility, when it comes to reach, exposure, is using books to build your businesses. And so one of my favorite book marketing strategies is being able to share my best processes, my information in the form of books that will give people an opportunity to be introduced to me, my methodologies, and then from that book, I can share other parts of my business, my resources, my coaching, my services with the reader, right? So thinking about how you can use a book, like a coloring book, as a marketing resource to both offer print versions of your book and or digital, and we'll talk about that in a bit as far as book marketing is concerned, and basically getting set up for sales. Like literally, I'm going to share with you some of the tools that I use that you could use as well to put together your digital product and sell it right now, print on demand, and or as a digital PDF download. So now that you know the agenda for today, hopefully you are able to hear me clearly. And of course, if you do have any questions at any time, those of you listening live, you could either unmute yourself or drop a question into the chat. Other than that, if you're listening on the replay side, you can always email me, sizzlesense@gmail.com, or join our Facebook groups. Do I have any newbies in the building? You can drop new into the chat if you're a newbie. If you're not in our Facebook group, write this down. You want to go to Firestarters with an S to join the Firestarter Circle, firestarters.sizzlesense.com, okay? So that inside of the community, you can check in with me, ask questions, share what you create, and of course, be a part of the process, right? I have something called Her Marketplace, where I showcase the different products that you all produce as we go through different print-on-demand and digital projects. And I would love to be able to include you into the next Her Marketplace edition, okay? That, by the way, is over at sizzlesense.com/Her Marketplace. So there's a lot. There's a lot for you to see. There's a lot for us to do. So without further ado, let's jump into our session. Hey, Jeanette. Hi, Cynthia. I see you guys coming on in here. Welcome, welcome. So the coloring book project. I always love to tell you all that if you have a notebook and you're going to go through this process with me in a notebook, that's totally fine. But I personally love to recommend that you go over to docs.google.com, create a Google Doc, and then you can, inside of that document, brain dump all the great ideas that you come up with, right? So you can go to Google Docs, create a coloring book project document, and then just start to take all your notes in there, okay? When it comes to this particular project, there are lots of target audiences that you can consider reaching out to, right? First thing I'll say is this. Obviously, when we think coloring books, we think kids, right? But nowadays, in the last couple of years, it's become more and more increasingly popular to see adult coloring books are just as popular as coloring books for kids, right? Then, of course, you can think about creating coloring groups for certain groups of people, right? One of my clients, Afi, she was at my workshop this past weekend, and she's an artist. And so she worked on a coloring book around how to use art as therapy, right? How to create art that is healing and therapeutic to you. So think about the kind of target market that you want to reach out to. Maybe you want to focus on women or something else. Now, when we have this conversation around target, I want you to also consider the following. Are you multi-passionate, where you are like me and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to talk to these people, I want to talk to these people. Consider the fact that outside of your primary main business, that primary target audience, you can create a coloring book and go in a completely different direction. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you create everything for one target group. So if you were to go on Amazon and search for me, LaShonda Henry, you'd probably find several books. One of them is my Bright Color Kids magazine, right? I love, love, love creating content for kids of color, and Bright Colors is something that I put out and published, self-published on Amazon as well as MacCloud. I share that with you because this project doesn't have to be, again, something that you only focus on for one group. If you are multi-passionate and you want to create something for another target group that you are interested in, go for it. So your target number one. As we go through these, by the way, and you're taking notes and you're thinking about what you would like to produce, I would love to know too. Feel free to drop your ideas into the chat so that I can see. Okay? And like I said, I'm a New Yorker, so I tend to rattle when I talk. But if you feel like you need me to slow down, clarify, no question is a bad question, check in, ask, I'm here to support. Outside of thinking about your target, your topics, right? When I think about the coloring books I had as a kid, some of them were just for, entertaining purposes, but a lot of them were educational, right? ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. Creating learning coloring books, maybe creating coloring books around stress, self-care, relaxation, something else, right? What are some things that interest you when it comes to the types of topics you would like to talk about and how you perhaps would want to put something like that into a coloring book? Now, one of my favorite things to do is actually to go over to Amazon.com, type in some keywords, and just out of curiosity see what people have been creating. So if you are in finance, maybe you want to do coloring book and finance, or coloring book and business if you're an entrepreneur focused on other business owners, right? Out of curiosity, look and see what is currently available and get creative, right? Look for inspiration, just kind of use your own innovation as well, but I love to check out what's being published on Amazon as a great kind of foundation, right, of what you could potentially do. So the next thing that I'm going to share here with you outside of targets, topics, is types. I mentioned to you just a few minutes ago that we're in a space where we create a lot of digital content. So number one, you could create a digital PDF coloring book, right, and then give it to people. They can download it, they can print it, or they can use it in some sort of digital editing app like GoodNotes. Or you could upload it to a platform and sell the physical version, right? Those are some things that you can do, right? So what type of coloring book do you want to produce? We're going to talk about that, think about that, work through that today, okay? Target, topics, types, tools. Canva is bae, okay? Canva is bae. Most of what we're going to do is inside of Canva, and I'm going to show you how to use the Magic Media AI app to help you create original images in Canva. When it comes to selling, you could sell your digital coloring book on whatever platform you like. You could try out ConvertKit through me over at suzense.com/ConvertKit. Now, let me say this. They literally just a week ago changed their name from ConvertKit to Kit. ConvertKit, or Kit, the new name, is mainly for list building, creating landing pages, but you can also create and sell products on the platform as well. I absolutely love it. So if you were to check it out through me, you just have to go to sizzlesense.com/ConvertKit and find out all the details. I did also mention the GoodNotes app. Is anyone here familiar with GoodNotes? GoodNotes is really popular, especially for digital planners, and a lot of people use it to be able to upload PDF files and work with them digitally. And literally, outside of you coloring a printed page, you could upload that PDF and use the markers and colors inside of something like GoodNotes to color within a coloring book, and I think that is pretty awesome. Now, there are quite a few other tools that I use that people often ask me about. When I do print on demand and I just have a small PDF, usually under 40 pages, my platform of choice is MagCloud. They were originally created by the HP company, and then they were bought over by Blurb a few years ago. MagCloud helps you create self-published print products, and the quality is absolutely beautiful. You could check out MagCloud through me by going to sizzlesense.com/MagCloud. Outside of uploading to MagCloud, my first platform for digital self-publishing, when I created my first self-published book, A Better Today, A Brighter Tomorrow, and my Little Bits Kids bedtime stories book, I uploaded and created those on the Lulu.com platform. Lulu is great for self-publishing, and of course, everybody knows Amazon, right? You can sign up for Amazon KDP, and through Amazon, upload your PDFs and have them printed. Now, when it comes to the easiest of the easy to use, MagCloud for me. Obviously, when it comes to the biggest marketplace in the world, it's got to be Amazon KDP, right? It does take a couple of steps to upload onto Amazon. It's not difficult, but it is more of a process. So when it comes to my low-tech, no-tech entrepreneurs and friends, I say try out MagCloud for smaller projects, because you could literally just upload the PDF, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, print it, sell it, you're off to the races. Two other tools that I'm going to mention before we jump into our session today is Midjourney and Issuu. When it comes to creating artwork using AI, Midjourney is at the top of the list. You can use Midjourney for free, or you can, and I think it's like a trial, but then you can upgrade, and it's pretty cost effective. Midjourney is one of the top tier platforms for creating your own personal, custom, AI-generated artwork. I'm not going to teach Midjourney today because I have taught it before, but I'm going to teach you some prompts that you can use inside of Canva. And Canva's AI art generator is like I would say an easily accessible version of what you could do on Midjourney on a higher level. And then last but not least is Issuu. Issuu is a great platform for uploading magazines, PDFs, and pretty much any digital file that you have that you want to be able to showcase to others. I have an Issuu account. You can go there and you can see some of my products, like my Sister Sense magazine or even my Little Bits Kids magazine. You can find me on Issuu, right? Now, what you'll also find is that a lot of people not only upload their PDFs so that people can access them for free, but inside of Issuu, you have the ability to even charge a subscription for your digital content, which is pretty cool, right? So if you were to use MagCloud or Amazon, Lulu, Issuu, these are some platforms that you could potentially monetize and sell your digital offers on. Now, I mainly want to focus on creating your coloring book today, which is going to be the heart of our training. But if you did have any questions about these resources, these platforms, and you wanted to see the tools or ask me about them, I can do that a little bit later today, if not tomorrow, okay? This is a 2-day training. Tomorrow we're going to talk about creating digital and or print guides. Today we're focused on the coloring project, okay? Hopefully, by the way, you've had an opportunity to go into the Print Your Profits workshop page. You'll see the replays are going to be there, but one of the first things you want to grab is the template, okay? So go over to the Print Your Profits page. When you signed up for this particular workshop, it should have taken you to the page, or the link should be in your invoice. Other than that, if you're a part of my monthly membership program, you should have gotten an email that says, click here for the replays and resources, and there you go. So just let me know, those of you who are live, when you go to that page, whether you go to the last email you got from me about today's workshop, or you go to your invoice receipt, let me know when you get the download for today's coloring book template. Just say, got it, okay? Drop that into the chat so that I can see. Hey, Dee, welcome, welcome. Miss Ella's in the building. Hello, hello. I see you guys coming on in. So I've said a little bit, a lot of a little, just to kind of get you in the right headspace, thinking about, got it? Okay, good. Getting you in the right headspace, thinking about what kind of coloring book projects would you like to produce, right? Making sure that you grab your template, because that's what we're going to be using today, right? And then also some of the resources and tools that I use. For the most part, we're going to be focused on Canva, but if you did want to know about other platforms to print your product or to share your digital publications, these are some of my personal favorites. So I see you guys are jumping into the chat and saying, got it, which is good. Anybody else? Anybody else? I want to make sure I give you an opportunity to go and find that link, the replays resources page for today's Print Your Profits project, and then download your template, okay? First thing that I want you to do. And as you guys are doing that, what I'm going to do is mosey on over to Coloring Book Profits. So we just talked about the project and getting your mind right as far as what you can do. I want to talk to you about revenue, profit potential of actually doing this as a creative, as a coach, as an entrepreneur. First thing that you see here is lead magnet. Remember I said to you that books build businesses, and you can use your books as marketing tools. So one of my clients, I want to say maybe about 2 months ago, helped her build her children's book website, The Butterfly Empress. Beautiful story about self-esteem and a little girl and just being able to blossom and bloom, the whole butterfly concept. Absolutely love it. One of the things I talked about with that particular client, Nichelle Williams, was lead magnets, right? And, you know, not only selling the children's book, but what are some cool things that you can add onto your website to get people to sign up to your list, to want to read your newsletter? One lead magnet would be a coloring book that complements her children's book, right? Now, that's for her because she's doing a children's book. You might be different. I just mentioned one of my clients, Afi. She's an artist, and so she has just created a coloring book around using art as therapy, right? I have another client, Lavon, and she is in the self-care space, so she creates content around self-care, right? Marceline, she is a social worker, and one of her core focuses is around how to de-stress, right, when you're at work, when you get off of work. So creating things, whether it be for a particular target group, women, workers under stress, couples, you know, maybe a coloring book for couples as they work on their relationship. I'm thinking about my client, Tiffany, right? She was with us last week for Print Your Profits here in North Carolina. This is not limited to one type of target group or one type of business owner. You got to think out of the box. And one way that you can use your coloring book is to be able to use it as a lead magnet, right? Where people can go, they can sign up and get it as a freebie or giving it to them as a free gift with purchase, right? So I think about Cynthia. Her brand is all about how you can rest and build, being able to create, because she's got all of these amazing events for her clients. The Remarkable Woman Conference is coming up. She has annual retreats. They go up into the mountains here in North Carolina, absolutely beautiful. Creating your own branded coloring book so that when people come out to her in-person events, they can hang out together and color together, right? Literally, one of my clients is working on a virtual retreat, and they're going to be doing that as part of it. She said, LaShonda, I can see us already on Zoom, music in the background, candles, a whole vibe, and everybody's coloring. I'm excited. In person or virtual. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I want you to ponder the possibilities. And if I were to go over to, let's go here, right? If you were to go to sistasense.com/FCJ for free coloring journal, it would take you here. I literally set this up today in ConvertKit, okay? I made my coloring book this morning, 4 o'clock this morning, and then I said, you know what, if folks want to grab it, they can grab it for free. I wanted to have something that I could share with you once I show you how to put your coloring book together too. And you can offer it to your audience as a lead magnet. So as I'm here, let me actually go over to Google, and so I can show you. I created this inside of Canva using my template plus using the AI tool, right? And created a combination of coloring pages like this one, I Am Enough. Created pages that had images that you can color in the background as well as text on top of the image, style number 2. Style number 3, simple journaling pages too. It doesn't necessarily just have to be a straight coloring book. It could be a coloring journal where you're giving them spaces to write and reflect. These are a few things that you can do. And like I said, these are AI-generated images that I put together. I said, listen, I want you to create these beautiful locklicious, I got long locks, right? Locklicious women. I'm a geeky girl. I have glasses. I want you to make sure they got their glasses on. Maybe they're in front of a laptop. Maybe they have on headphones. You know, what kind of brand? I'm a curvy sister. Got a little bit love in the middle. I wanted some curvy ladies that are 40 plus, right? What kind of images, this is still your year, what kind of images do you want to turn into a coloring book for your audience? I love to write, right? I wanted to show women writing, journaling, notebooks. These are the kind of images that I created with the help of AI and Canva, right? So you can grab this. Like I said, you go to your replays and resources page. This should be one of the links in there. But being able to turn your coloring book or a version of it into a freebie lead magnet is definitely something that you can do. Now, you can sell it as a one-time offer. You can say, hey, download my digital coloring book, and then give them instructions on how they could use it digitally via something like GoodNotes, or how they could just simply print it out. There you go, right? Sell it as a one-time offer. $7, $17, digital product. You could also sell it as a print-on-demand purchase. So I mentioned to you that I do have my books in different places. If you go to sistasense.com/magcloud, you'll find I have my products in MagCloud. This is my Little Bits Kids, also available on Amazon, right? And then if I go to the little arrow here, because I've been using this particular platform for years. I use it for my guides. We're going to work on square guides like this tomorrow. I use it for my paperback books as well as my magazines. So I create a lot of stuff on that cloud. If you don't have an account, you can sign up through me. It's absolutely free. And literally, even if you don't have a website or a traditional online store, you can create a free MagCloud account, upload your PDFs, and make them available in print and in digital for purchase, which I personally think is amazing, right? So I'm giving you options because not only do I want you to be able to create your coloring book today, I want you to know how you can grow, how you can turn it into profit potential, either making it a lead magnet, freebie, or maybe it's free with purchase. They sign up to your event and they're going to get their coloring book, either a digital or a physical one. I love to create bags, my goodie bags, my swag bags at my in-person event here in North Carolina. The last one was last week. The next one is in January. Yay. Fire Start Your Year. And I love to put both my favorite gadgets and goodies in the bags as well as my own branded self-published books, magazines, next coloring book, right? So offering it as a digital one-time offer or a print-on-demand one-time offer, there you go. The next is a bundled series collection one-time offer. What does that mean? Once you get started, this is like chips, okay? Once you get started, the goal is to create several of them so that from there you can build a bundle, a series, a collection. And maybe you sell one coloring book for $7. Maybe you sell your bundle for $27, right? Building on what you've already built. Monthly minis. Again, those are bite-sized digital products. Yeah, you can create, let's say, a 50-page coloring book today, literally, right? But then you could make minis where every month or every quarter you're creating a small digital coloring book or print coloring book, offering it to your audience on some sort of a subscription. Right now, I don't know if you know Oprah's Insider Daily. That is her subscription program. You get special editions of Oprah Magazine. You get virtual experiences, daily motivation, all the things. And that is a subscription program that she's put together. She often gifts you something when you sign up for the first time, right? And there's a lot of different types of membership perks in there. If you wanted to create something where you integrated coloring books either every month, every other month, once a quarter, that's certainly something that you can do. Digital library, right? We are all about the Hulu, the Netflix, the Prime Video. Create your own digital library. Literally, my template hub, I offer that to clients. You can buy it for $100. It's a library and get access to all of it. Or you can get access to the template hub inside of my monthly membership subscription program. Just like you would sign up to the Netflix or the Audible library, you can create your own. And then last but not least, virtual experiences. I mentioned that quite a few of my clients have both in-person and virtual events, workshops, parties, retreats, and literally on a Zoom, all your people can either have their digital coloring book, or once they purchase, you can ship them out the physical, and then they have the physical once you work virtually, or you can give it to them real time when they come to your event. There are so many ways for you to do this. So let's pause for a second. Before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of the coloring page book, which is coming up next, right? The next thing, we're literally going to work on the coloring book now. But I did want to first talk to you about the project and then also your profit potential. When you see this page, what interests you when it comes to potential revenue? Are you thinking about just selling it as a digital? Do you want to do print on demand? Are you like, ooh, I think I want to integrate it into a virtual retreat, or I want to add it to a membership program that I'm working on? What comes up for you? Hey, Afi, I see you sneaking on in. Afi was one of the lovely ladies who hung out with me as part of the Print Your Profits in-person workshop here in North Carolina last week. And now we're doing the virtual this week. Awesome to have you here, my dear. So let me know, when it comes to your profit potential, digital, physical, one-time offer, subscription offer, what do you see here that gets you super excited? Now, outside of what we do as a group, keep in mind the DIY is just the beginning. I do also offer done-for-you services if you need help getting some of this stuff done for you or done with you. Where literally if you don't feel like your Canva skills are up to par, you can schedule time with me for us to sit down, go into your Canva, and me help you work on some of these things together. So I'm going to check the chat to see what you guys are saying to me. And hopefully you guys can see the screen and hear me clearly and everybody's good. If you're good, just drop good so I know y'all are alive and still here. Number one. And then, like I said, number two, what profit potential is jumping out to you based on what you see. As you guys are doing that for me, I'm going to move over to the, excuse me, Canva Coloring Books conversation, okay? So let me actually first pull up the Canva template on the screen, and then I'll come here. So hopefully you guys had an opportunity to grab your Canva template. I'm going to go to canva.com on my web browser. I'm going to look for the Canva book template, which you all should have. And I actually want to make a copy. So let's do that. Let's go to make a copy and open it so that I do not mess up the original. All right. So there are a few things that you're going to see inside of your template. The first thing, if I go into grid mode, is that I've created a few colorful covers for you to choose from, or you could build your own cover from scratch. Honestly, it's up to you. Okay? I love these beautiful elements that you can find in Canva, so I kind of wanted to showcase those. The heart of it is this. Outside of your cover, you have your copyright disclaimer page, which you see here, right? Which you just basically will relay what the title of your book is, your information, your copyright, your disclaimer. There you go. And then we jump right into the pretty of it all, right? So this is both inspiration, but you can also change out the pages that are here. I'm going to talk to you about these different types of pages, like this one where you see floral arrangement in the back and then words in the front. Don't give up just because things are hard, right? Then I'm going to talk to you about how you can create AI pages. You can customize these pages as you want, add and remove what you want. There are journal pages as well if you kind of want to give them a mix of pages they can color and then pages they can write in, right? And I'm going to talk about all of these different types of pages in just a minute, but first I wanted to show you what it looks like, okay? So remember, if you were able to download this template, just say got it into the chat so I know, number one, okay? And if you are hanging out with me and you're good, say good so I know that you guys are here and you can hear me crystal clear, okay? Just want to make sure I'm periodically checking in because I can't see you. So I need to make sure that y'all are good and you can see me, at least virtually. Anyway. So when it comes to Canva, there are several things we're going to talk about with respect to this template. Elements, number one. Even if you don't create any sort of AI-generated art, Canva has a ton of graphics and coloring pages that you can use, number one. Number two, when it comes to AI, I'm going to show you how to use Magic Media so that you can create coloring pages, okay? We're also going to talk about different text effects and photo effects, as well as do you want to, as I just showed you, just make coloring book pages or give them journal pages? And, of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't share some keywords that you can use to find elements that you can integrate into your coloring book. like motivational coloring pages, mandala, floral, positive phrases, etc. So let's go back to Canva so I can just jump right into the process of showing you how you can work this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, these pages are inspirational, but you could also use them as is. I'm going to duplicate this page. Oops, I didn't do duplicate. I'm going to hit the duplicate button. I'm just going to delete that. There is actually and I'm just going to make it like a light gray. There's actually a square box right here, okay? You may not see it because it's white, but I kind of wanted to show you there's a square box in there. Elements, let's click on the elements option here. And you could search for keywords like coloring pages. And let's say you wanted to do a children's book. Literally, they have the absolute cutest stock elements that you can use. And if you pick something, obviously it's going to start to show you complementary ones as well. You could do a simple ABCs book, right? Great for homeschooling, great for resources. Maybe you have, for example, one of my clients, Lavon, she's a teacher. Maybe you want to create resources for teachers. I mean, really and truly, the sky is the limit with this thing, right? So I sound like a car. I sound like a car trying to start up. A little bit congested. Apologies. Literally, you could just search for coloring page and just start to scroll and see what comes up, right? Don't know if you know this, but if you click on an image, it comes there. And you could, of course, click the colors and change the color if you wanted to, right? That's a whole other conversation for you. But outside of that, if you click the three dots, it gives you details. So mandala is like this beautiful artwork style. And if you search for that, you're going to get these kind of spiraled images. I kind of think about when they do Hindu paintings and they paint their hands and their face, and it's so beautiful. Mandala coloring pages, adult coloring, these are all keywords. Line, outline. Then there's a star option. If you star it, it's going to be added to your favorites collection in Canva. So if you go, ooh, I like this one, you can star the ones that you like and then go back to your favorites later on, okay? Now, there are going to be a lot of pages like this where you can literally just pop the page in there, or you can use elements like, okay, so I already know that I like these, so I'm going to star them. I'm like, ooh, this is nice. You can go down the star rabbit hole. That's another conversation for another day, okay? But like, say I took something like this and then I hit duplicate, I could literally sit here and make my own pattern if I wanted to. It's all about how creative you can be. Okay? Just kind of show you what's possible. Yes, you can do the pre-made ones, or you could create something like this. And I actually like that, right? Now, this is going to be full width, where it will reach the outside of the page, like it's stretched out all the way to the page. But if I did want to create a white border on this, I could. Okay, so let's keep going with the keywords here, right? I'm going to hit new page. And if I look at this one, it says floral coloring page. Okay, so here is an example of a floral coloring page. How pretty is that, right? I'm going to go again. One of the keywords I said to you was motivational coloring page. Believe it or not, Canva already has a huge collection of these pages that you can use. Every day is a fresh start. How many of you have seen or searched for these pages before? Just say me, out of curiosity. Or is this new to you? I always love when it's new because I just like teaching and sharing things that are new to you. But these are great because if you did want to create something relatively quickly, you can just kind of lean into what's already available to you inside of Canva. And if you did want to use your own colorings, a lot of these you can change the color. It doesn't necessarily have to be black or gray. You can change the color as well. Okay? So the first thing that I wanted to be able to do today was to share different types of keywords that you can look for literally inside of Elements. And then from here, you can find already made, ooh, this one's pretty. Sometimes I feel like a little fish. I get distracted. Look at this one. Isn't this pretty? Here's another one. Star. This one is the flower coloring page. This is absolutely gorgeous. Right? And I didn't put it all the way to the edge. I gave it kind of a little bit of a border. Now, quick tip, those of you who are not necessarily as familiar with all of these features, if you go to File, Settings, Show Margins, and let me zoom in here. Do you see the little dashed lines? Might be a little hard to see if you're blind like me. But when you show the margins, it will show you basically where the main margins are. So just in case if you wanted important text or something to not get cut off, you just kind of want to keep it in the margins. Okay? Just a few quick tips to share with you. Now, what I am going to do is now walk you through some of the AI features that's available to you inside of Canva. Okay? You could do it inside of the template, or you could create a new document and do the following activity. Here's what I will say. Can you use the Magic Media AI Canva tool with the free version? You can, but you do have limited credits. Okay? You can try it out, but Canva Pro to me is the way to go. So I'm going to first create a blank page, and I'm going to hide the margins so they're not distracting to me. Settings. Oopsie. Settings. Okay. Now, how do you do AI in Canva? Turning text into images. What you're going to do is you're going to go over to Apps, and either you can search for or scroll and look for the Magic Media app. Okay? You can usually find it somewhere around the top, but if it's not there and I'm not seeing it for some reason, you could search for it. So I'm going to search for Magic Media. Okay, there you go. So what is Magic Media? Well, you put in text, and then it turns whatever text you put in there into an image, okay, which is pretty cool. That's the first thing. The second thing is it will even give you different format styles. I don't want a format style. I just want to keep it simple. You can also change how the image is made, if it's going to be a square image, a landscape image, or a portrait. Obviously, this is an 8.5 by 11 page, so I'm going to click Portrait so it can fill the page. So this is something that you kind of have to get used to, but You have to do it first, because if you forget to do this and then you start, you're going to have to start over. If you're like, oh, why is it square? Why is it not filling a whole page? When you start the process of doing Magic Media, you need to make sure you set your media to portrait, okay? So are you guys going to do this with me? Yes? Or are you just watching me? I always like to have you guys actually do the process with me, okay? But let me know which one for you. Now, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get here real quick. I'm going to do a quick power pause, and then we'll come right back. So I am going to, now, if you notice here, it says use one of 436 credits, refreshes 1031. I think I started off with 500 credits for the month, if I'm not mistaken. It renews every month when you have Canva Pro. I would have to double check the number of credits you get with Pro, but then there is a certain amount you get to try out if you have the free version. So you kind of don't want to use up all your free credits if you're just doing the try, the free version of Canva. But honestly, I would recommend upgrading to Pro. If you can, add it to your budget. I recommend it. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to do a simple art, and then I'm going to do one specifically for a coloring page. But either way, I'll show you that you can remove the color if you have any color in it. So I'm going to do a digital illustration of 40-plus African woman with headphones, sitting, laughing, in with a laptop, period. I'm going to keep it simple. What else do I want to know about this woman? I would like her to be hand on cheek. What else would I like to know? You to know about her? She has long, natural hair. What else about this woman? Purple, blue top. I do a lot of purple and blue combinations, as you can tell, with my content. So this is all I'm going to put in here, and then I'm going to make sure that it's portrait, and then I'm going to hit the button at the bottom that says generate, generate image, that purple button, okay? By the way, I am currently on my iPad, so this might look a little different from what you're seeing if you're on your phone or on your laptop, okay? So now I'm going to hit the generate image option, and it is going to do its thing. It's going to give me 4 versions to choose from. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, what you're going to do is hit generate again, or you can go back and start all over. You can also say, if you click the 3 dots right here, right, you can say, ooh, I like this one. Generate more like this. You're going to like all of these, so I will click all of them, because what happens is when you click them, then they will get stored in your uploads library. See, they're now in my uploads library. But if you do not click them, they will not get stored. Okay? Just food for thought for you, number one. So because I did that, I closed the app. I didn't want to do that, but I'll do it again. Doggone it. I closed the app, so I'm going to have to write that over. It's fine. Let's just do something like this, like so, like that, just so you can kind of see what I created right there, number one. Let's go back to the Magic Media app. Oh, they're still there. Yes, thank God. Okay. It's still there. Okay. So I'm going to copy this and put it somewhere so I have it, just randomly somewhere. So I just copy and pasted that into my notes folder just so I have it. Let's look at this, right? So let's say I like her. I could click on the three dots and go, ooh, I like this one. Give me more like this. And the more you tweak it, the more it will create images that are like what you are looking for, okay? I like her. And this one is nice as well. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. All right. So the next thing, you're like, okay, LaShonda, this is great, but this is colors, and we're creating a coloring book. Where does the coloring book come in? Okay, so I'm going to show you several things. First, let me go to a blank page. Let's come down here. So there are some keywords that I mentioned to you before. Let's go over to the keywords. For Magic Media, you want to use keywords like lined art and coloring page. Okay, so let's come back. I'm going to say I want a digital illustration lined art coloring page of 40-plus African-American woman. Now, I also had purple and blue in here. I'm going to remove the purple and blue because I don't want any color, right? I could add color, and I'll show you that you could add color and get rid of the color in a second. But first, let me just do it this way. And I'm asking specifically for a lined art. So let's generate again. Aha, you see that it's different now, right? Now, if I didn't want to have like that black here, I would probably work on, you know, no color in here, or putting some more keywords in there to, if I wanted to get rid of the black in here, but I can tell you how to work around that as well. Okay. So here are some images that it has given to me, right? Maybe I'll say like no shade on skin or something. But let's work around that. First thing that I am going to do is to I'll take one of these images right here, put it on a page. I'm going to go through a series of steps, okay? So here's this image, and I'm going to go to edit the image. Then I'm going to go to duotone. See this right here? It says duotone. I'm going to click on duotone and change that to classic. So I'm just going to flatten it with no colors in it. Okay? I'm just going to flatten this with no colors in it. Now I'm going to go back to edit and click on adjust. And here underneath adjust, I could actually work on changing the brightness of the image, changing the contrast of the image, even changing the temperature of the image to get to something that has less color and is a little flatter. So this one says whites right here. So it says shadows right here. If I wanted to work on creating something, if I had an existing image and I kind of wanted to get rid of some of the color within that image, this is what I would do. First, change the image to duotone, and then adjust the brightness, the contrast, the temperature, until I found something that I absolutely was like, wow, this is what I like, right? Then I could even go to, I'm going to duplicate this real quick. I could even go to BG Remover and remove the background. Now, there's no background in here, but if I wanted to remove it, I could. Like, you could clearly tell the difference, right, between what it was and what it is now, right? Now, of course, if you just say, I want lined art, obviously this is not a lined art colored drawing. So if you say, I want a coloring page, I want lined art, then it's going to give you a different style artwork, right? Now, here's something else that you can do. Let's go over to the template that I gave you, okay? And I'm going to duplicate this page. This is already formatted for you. It's literally already formatted for you. So if I were to go over to uploads and I was to take one of my new ones, like here's one that has like, this has got purple and blue in it, right? I'm going to drag it into my template. It already changed the color. Now, I don't know how well it would do it with one of these. I'm curious to see. Pretty decent. So literally the template, the template that I gave you, right? If you were to drag and drop a graphic in here, and again, these all have colors, it's going to take it away because I've already customized this to do the duotone and adjust the brightness and temperature. I already did this inside of your template. However, I wanted to do it from scratch just to show you the steps if you were curious. Okay? Now, next thing that you'll see here is I am right now creating images, and I'm wanting an image of a person, but you don't have to use a person or just one person. For example, Afi created some beautiful scenery images. So let's do a digital lined art coloring page of an urban neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, with people talking on a stoop and kids playing on the sidewalk. Okay, I'm curious to see what it gives me. But you can put anything you want in this thing, okay? So I'm going to hit generate again. I can hit go back and start from scratch, but I'll just hit generate again and see what it gives me. So you could do sceneries, you could do groups of people, whatever, you know, objects, whatever comes to mind. So pretty. I love it. I love it. Whatever comes to mind. It's giving me this one in color. Now, I could see this as like a coloring puzzle. Making it a puzzle, that would be fun. Another project for another day. We did card decks, print and digital card decks earlier this year. That was a great training. But so many different types of branding products that you could do. Okay? So you can put whatever you want into the coloring Magic Media AI, and it will give you something based on what you're looking for. Okay? It could be a physical product. Not physical product. It could be like just one thing. Maybe you want a picture of a dog or a ball. Maybe you are somebody who cooks and you want to show like a, you know, a dish. It could be whatever you want. Okay? Number one. Number two, as I mentioned to you, I did create these pages so that literally you could just drag and drop your creations. Like even though this one has color, if I drag it into my template, it removes all the color, which is pretty great, right? I also created this text that you could change. So my I can't spell neighborhood. Don't laugh at me. Brooklyn. 96. Change the font. Now, you could use the font that I've selected, which is Now, but you could change that font to whatever you want. And I'm going to show you how to make coloring fonts. Number one, you could just simply use your template, switch out, and then you could change the font style as well. So let's go to one of my other favorites, which is Daydream. Okay. Daydream is a pretty cool font. And then if I wanted to increase the size, I could, like that. So you may be wondering, well, how did you do that? How can you create fonts that look like you could color inside of them, right? I will do it from scratch, but like I said, it is already inside of your template. You can literally use it. Have fun. So I'm going to just create a blank page, and let me just copy this text real quick that says Canva. So I just created a little text box, and it says Canva. Okay? So first, let me make this white, because it's a coloring page, it would be white, right? Then I'm going to go to Effects, and I'm going to look for the Outline Effect, and that's pretty much it. Ta-da! So you could change it to whatever color you want as far as the outline is concerned. And then, of course, you could change it to any font that you want. Obviously, thinner fonts might not show up as nicely. You want to use a font that's kind of girthy so that it has space for them to actually color in. And then, of course, you can also change the thickness of the line, right? It could be a thin line if you wanted it to be, or you can kind of beef it up if you wanted that, okay? Now, again, these are some really cool features in Canva. You can try pretty much all the features in Canva at least a couple of times if you have the free version. I cannot tell you how many of these features are exclusively pro, but if you let me know, I'll let the rest of y'all know, okay? If you want to try out Canva, the pro version through me, you can always go over to citizensense.com/jcanva. So you can have fun with it. You could literally choose whatever. Here's a nice one, Lemon Tuesday. You can literally choose whatever you want. Beautiful. And now Brittany's a really thin font. I don't know how well something like Brittany would do with a project like this. Not too bad. It's a little thin, but not too bad. So if you have any questions for me, first, feel free to drop those into the chat, number one. Number two, the next thing that I'm going to do is work on a layout. I'm going to work on a layout. So I am going to first delete. I'm going to delete a bunch of these. Let me hope. Yes. Okay. I was like, Lasanda, did you make a copy? Yes, I did. I can breathe. Okay. So I'm going to delete a bunch of these covers. Right. And then I am going to work on a layout using what I've already given you. So my layout is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to use, that's pretty, I really like that one. I'm going to use one of these pages from Canva. They're motivational phrase pages. I'm going to use one of those, number one. And then number two, I'm going to use one of my custom Canva pages and a journal page. So I'm going to just delete everything here. Start empty. And I'm going to show you how I would recreate this layout. So the person opens the book, they're going to see an inspirational page. Then they're going to open it to see two pages. That's going to be like this one right here. And then I'm going to duplicate this a couple of times. Okay. Now, what I want to do is kind of switch it up where it's going to either be one of these motivational phrase pages or my quote page. So this one will be one of those motivational pages. Let's go and find one. Motivational coloring page. Don't stop until you're proud. I love this one. Now, what I also want to do is maybe use a lighter color because my pages are a little light, so maybe use something like that. Or I could use the color picker tool. But I think the gray is good. It's a little lighter than the black, just so it kind of blends in a little bit more with my pages. So then I've got that page, then I'm going to have one of my custom pages, and then I'm going to have another one of the motivational pages from Canva. So I just need to find another one of these. Good vibes only, you know it. Make this gray as opposed to the darker black. And I'm going to go to position, center, and middle. So Canva will automatically put it into the middle for me. So this is just going to be a simple 12-page coloring book, okay? That's the first thing. Let's switch out these photos real quick. I don't have to create new photos because I don't want to use up all my credits. Plus, I already have a bunch that I created in my uploads folder. So I might use, am I going to use this one? I think I would want to make those a little bit lighter. So I think I'm going to focus on using these that are whiter and more coloring style pages. And then switch out this one as well. And I'm going to just change the text, ready to work. Maybe make that 104. That's good. Now, I spaced it pretty close, but if you used the spacing icon, you could probably make it a little bit wider if you wanted to. So this one is going to say ready to work, and then the other one is going to say focus forward. Make this one a little bit smaller, 104, and then maybe make it a little bit wider apart. There you go. So that's just the innards right now, right? I love this that it says every day is a fresh start because my program is called Fresh Start, right? Your fresh start starts now. So maybe this is the Fresh Start coloring journal, right? Um, what can I do here? So I'm going to go to this page right here. I'm going to delete these because I don't want that. So I'm going to go back to the Magic Media, and let's start with here. Digital lined art. Let's use the other one. Okay. So let's work on a new illustration. Let me type it in, then I'll explain it. Quick power pause. Check in if you have questions, by the way. Okay. So what I want is basically an image of a woman sitting on the floor with her laptop. And I don't want anything in the background. I just kind of want it simple. So I don't know how close it's going to get to giving me that, but I basically said digital illustration, coloring page of 40 plus African woman, full body. Full body is another keyword. If sometimes you may type, if you just type in, like if you want a picture of somebody, if you don't say smiling or happy or laughing, by default, it's just going to give you somebody with a pretty serious face, which is fine, but sometimes I like happy, vibrant photos, so I tend to put keywords like that in there, number one. And then number two, if you don't tell it you want full body, or if you don't tell it you want to see hands, legs, things like that, it will give you a close-up image as well. So let's see how close it gets to giving me what I want. You kind of sometimes then have to kind of go and tweak it a couple of times for it to get a really good sense of what you want and then try it. But let's see what it gives me here. Generate. Okay. So did it give me some things? Yes. Is it exactly what I want? No. But let's see what I can do. First, I'm going to just grab the ones that it's given me and then see if I can tweak it. Um, I could also do try again, or I could do more like this, generate more like this. I really don't want anything in the background, but then again, I could use the background remover tool if it didn't remove the background for me. Yeah, I don't like those. Okay. Um, so let's do this. First, I'm going to go to my uploads folder, and in the interest of time, I'm going to use this one, but then I'm going to use the background remover tool so I can get rid of the background. Number one. I like that. So I'm going to put her here. and I'm going to change all instances of this blue to purple. I kind of want something behind her. I'm going to try two things. I'm going to go back to the coloring book template. There's something that I have that I'm thinking of that might be nice with this, but let's see. Thinking either this one or that one. And then position to back. I like that. Now there are some other things that I can do. I can go to File, Settings, Show Margins. So I try to keep everything kind of like within the margins. And then I'm going to move this down a little bit. And then do Fresh Start, Coloring Book. So let's get rid of the margins so it's a little less distracting. And I'm going to change the font size to maybe 96. I like it. It's like clean. Something about it is very clean. It makes me happy. So I can put here, Fresh Start, Coloring Book. Right? So even if, just checking out her sneaker, sometimes hands and feet, the AI don't work too well, but her sneaker's fine. Even if it doesn't quite give you what you want, you can do different filters, effects, background remover to get what you want inside of Canva. I'm going to show you a few other cool things you could do in Canva in just a second, but before I do, let's go over the elements real quick and look for laptop. Now, I'm kind of looking for the back. Okay, here we go. I literally can add a laptop to her if I wanted to, right? Or maybe even this one. Kind of wanted to give it like an angled look. This one might work. Kind of like that one better. Okay. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, but if I did want to do some things, I could. I'm going to duplicate this real quick. Then I'm going to go here to Position, Layers, and delete that back layer. So this image, I could go to I know what I would need to do. I need to start from scratch. Let's go to Uploads, grab this image, put it in here. Now, there are several features in Canva that are pretty cool. Can I use it with this? Let's do Edit. Okay, yes. So I'm going to go to Edit Image, and then I'm going to go to Magic Expand and expand for the full page, and then hit Magic Expand. Magic Expand, the AI will automatically add stuff to fill out the space if you wanted to make the image fit a bigger space, but you didn't want to just zoom in, right? So look how cool that is. Magic Expand gave me all of these interesting things in the background that didn't exist before, but now they do, right? And I think that's pretty cool. So if you were ever curious about, man, my image, I wish there was more stuff on the left or more stuff on the right, even photos of yourself or others, you could try that Magic Expand feature, and I think that's pretty cool, right? So I'm going to hit done on that one. Then I'm going to hit undo. The other thing that you could do is you could do Magic Edit, where I could say add a lap or add a computer to her lap. And let's see how well that works. Oh, please select area. So I'm going to select her lap and hit generate. So outside of the Magic Media tool, you could use the Magic Edit or the Magic Expand tool. Now, you have to use it a couple of times because this is totally random. I don't like that one. I don't like any of these. So I would hit generate again. Sometimes it's going to give you some stuff that you're just like, no. If it works, great. But if it's wonky, then err on the side of just using elements. The most decent one I'm seeing so far is that one. But you could then, again, generate again and see what it comes up with. Best results is just using Magic Media AI, but they do have these other ones available to you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I asked for. I don't know who this kid is. Yeah, these are random. So I'm going to say cancel on the Magic Edit tool. But that certainly is another option for you. So if I did want to, though, I could do something like this where I just use her whole image and then make the text white. But obviously it's hard to see on this. So what I would probably do is go to Elements and use maybe a rectangle and do something like this so it's a little bit easier to see. Right? So either creating something with no background or using the background I was given and creating something like this. These are a few possible options. Okay? So there you have it. This is just a mini coloring book. I mean, I could, of course, do the back. Let me do the back real quick. I'm going to do a back cover. Now, to keep things simple, I either like to just do a solid color like that, or what I'm going to actually do is go over to Elements, or no, Uploads. I'm going to grab her photo and put her photo in the back, and then maybe do a transparent. Now, there's no color in the back, so it looks white, but let's do this instead. I'm going to click the background, make it purple, then have her here. I don't want the circle in the back. I'm just going to keep the URL and make that white, right? So I might just say sistersense.com. And then I might go back up to the top where it says Fresh Start. Copy this. And maybe put it in the back, but smaller. Like that. Just want to go to position, center. Oh, I don't need to be in the middle, but position center, just so I know that it is in the center. And there you go. So you can keep the background seriously simple, whether you use a graphic or you use the cover and then maybe give it a little bit of transparency like I did here. Maybe I'll make this a little bigger, maybe 60. 64. Yeah, I think that works for me. Okay. So once everything is done, what I would do is go to share. And as a matter of fact, hold on. First, I like this cover, but it's not going to be my official cover. So I'm going to move it in the back. This is 12 pages, right, from the first page on. But actually, let me make it official. So let's finish up this page. First thing that I'm going to do is actually I'm going to use this one because it's already done. I'm going to say fresh start coloring journal. So remember I said this morning I already made a coloring book. So it already has my copyright, my URL, all that stuff. So I just kind of cheated a little bit, put that one in there. So obviously I would want to see if everything is okay. First page is good. This page is good. Then I've got every day is a fresh start. Then I have one coloring page, ready to work. Journal page, don't stop until you're proud. Journal page, focus forward. Journal page, good vibes only. Journal page, and then the ending. This is 12 pages. Now, if you did want to print it, printing usually is going to be in even numbers in increments of 4. So 12, 16, 20, 24 plus. Now, if I was going to print something like this and I did a small version, something that is anywhere between 12 to 20 pages is nice for an event, right? Something that people can see that's branded. They have a couple of pages to take notes, especially if you're speaking or you have other speakers. It's on the smaller side. You could go bigger, like 36, 44 pages if you wanted to give them something that's a little bit thicker or girthier. But just think kind of like when you go to an event and you get like a notepad, you can do something smaller if you wanted to, right? If it's on the smaller side where it's under 40 plus pages, I would just upload it to MagCloud and then make it something that I could make available to my audience, right? So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to show you how I would upload it to MagCloud, number 1, and also how I would upload it to ConvertKit, number 2. Amazon has way too many things, so not doing Amazon, but MagCloud and definitely ConvertKit. Last thing I will say is that you can print actually inside of Print with Canva. I've never printed with Canva, but you can print, and they've got some pretty cool printing options. So food for thought, okay? So let's do a couple of things. First thing is to save this whole thing. You know what? I really don't need this page, so I'm just going to delete it. I can recreate it. Let's save this. I'm going to go to Share, Save, change from MP4 to best quality PDF, and download. Now it says you're saving $5 because I have a pro account. If you had a free account, you would have to pay for any stock photos that you added to your document. So I'm going to download this 12-pager and then upload it to my Google Drive. Are you guys good? Just say good if you're good. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I don't need a public view link. Save. So I'm going to save this to my drive, my Google Drive. Oh, doggone it. I forgot to change the name. So, hold on, let me do that. Fresh Start Coloring Book. Let's do that again. Download PDF. Download. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to let me know. And then I'm going to put this again back into my Google Drive. That's the first thing, okay? Second thing is I'm going to download the cover and maybe a few of the inside pages. So I'm going to download page 1, 3, 4, 8, and 10. So let's go to download again. Now this time I want PNG. I don't want all the pages. I just want pages 1, 3, 4. Done. Download. So I'm downloading those pages as well. All right. Okay. So I've got my pages and what else? I've got my pages and my PDF done. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask. Okay? Next thing that I'm going to do is to do MagCloud. I think I'll do MagCloud first. Remember, I said you can create a free MagCloud account, right? MAGCLOUD, that's MagCloud. If you want to try it out through me, sistasense.com/MagCloud. If I go to, I've logged in, see it says hello, LaShonda. If I click on create, I'm going to upload a PDF because my PDF is already done. So I'm going to call this the Fresh Start Coloring Book. By default, it's set to magazine. You could change it to something else if you want. And I'm going to upload my So I uploaded my PDF to my Google Drive, not onto my iPad. So let me find that real quick. Fresh Start Coloring Book. Let's download this thing. My automatic response is always to upload things to my Google Drive. So I have to actually have it on this device. And I don't. So let me do that real quick. I think it came out kind of cute. I like it. And it's just a short 12-pager. Obviously, if I were going to sell this, I would make it a little bit bigger. Or if I was going to print it for an event, I'd probably go 12 is decent, honestly. I'd probably go maybe 20 or something like 20, 24. But let me upload the documents. Find that real quick. And this will take a minute or two to upload. Do you have any questions? Number one. Where are you in the process? Number two. Remember, I can't see you. So y'all checking in with me virtually helps me to kind of figure out where you are. Are you just kind of watching? Are you trying this for yourself inside of Canva? Feel free to kind of let me know what you're up to. Now, if I were to upload this to maybe Amazon, or if I were to upload it to something like Lulu, it has multiple steps, number one. And then number two, you have to upload the inside separate from the cover. So it's more stuff. I teach MagCloud because it's literally all you got to do is upload the whole PDF in its entirety and you're done. But like I said, it's not the only platform. And when it comes to cost per page, or when it comes to different types of books, maybe hardcover books, spiral books, Lulu, Amazon, they definitely give you more features to choose from. Okay? Food for thought. it's taken its little time for this little 9.1 megabyte file. This file is so tiny. I do not know why it's taken this long. But I'm going to give it its little minutes to upload. And as I do, I'll check the chat to see what you guys are saying to me. Okay? It wouldn't usually take this long for a relatively small file, but either they have some traffic today or maybe it's just me. Afi says, seeing yours, I think I want to make a series of coloring books. I think it's better to have one theme with the visuals per book. Yes, one theme per book. Creating a bundled collection is definitely something that you can do. Hey, Jeanette. Jeanette says, going to try it later. I may need help with uploading. Okay, sure. I'm going to give it a second here because I really don't know what the bee's knees business is going on. But as Afi mentioned to her point, I'm actually going to go back to the slides real quick. As I mentioned, when it comes to the profit potential, right, you could either make it a physical product, you could sell it as a digital product, use it as a freebie lead magnet, or if you create several of them, you can build out a bundle, right, some sort of series or collection. So there's certainly a lot of ways that you can monetize this and make it work for you, okay? I may let this, it says closing, the upload is getting warmed up. This could take a few minutes. I think what I am going to do is let this keep doing its thing, but I think I might take you over to ConvertKit so I'm not just kind of staring at the screen randomly. So let's do a quick power pause. Let me take you over to ConvertKit, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, this finishes at some point. I don't know what it's doing. So I'm inside of ConvertKit, now called Kit, right? I'm going to do two different types of pages. First one is a landing page. So let's say I wanted to give this thing away for free, right? I'm going to create a landing page. And there are lots of different style landing pages to choose from. I am going to use this one, Cypress. I oftentimes like Cypress, and there's another one that I use a lot. I like Hudson. I use that sometimes. But when I have a cover graphic, I like to either use Cypress or Park, this one right here. But it's a kind of like a more portrait style photo, so I think this one is going to work better for me, number one. Then number two, I'm going to call this the Fresh Start Coloring Journal. Always give it a name. Let's change this to the cover. Did I download the cover? Oh, I know what I did. Excuse me. I did download it, but I don't feel like going that route, so I'm going to do it this way. All right, so let's get those pages done real quick. And then, as I mentioned before, if you do have questions for me, feel free to ask. Here's the cover. All right, so there's the cover in there, number one. And then I'm going to go to General Settings and change the background to one of my purples, number two. I'm just going to say free download or maybe free gift. Motivated to move forward. Hey, boss. download your free Fresh Start Coloring Journal today. Now, it does have a plus sign, so I want to put the first name field in there, and I want to require it. I always turn that on because otherwise they may not put their first name in it. When I send out emails, I like to personalize it with your name. And then I'm going to use this and drag it so that the first name is before the email address. Then it says sign up today. I'll probably change this to like a blue hue. Sign up today or download now. So those are some settings just off the bat, right? I'm going to go over to settings and click that. By default, it just is going to say, hey, success, you're on the email list. I actually just want to send them straight to download the document. I did put the document in my Google Drive, right? So I'm going to go to my Google Drive real quick. And here is the document, as you can see, my 12-page Fresh Start coloring book, right? I'm going to go to Manage. By default, when you upload things to your Google Drive, it is restricted. I'm going to change it from restricted to anyone with the link. Then I'm going to copy that link, okay? If it's restricted, if I give this to somebody, I'm then going to get a message that says, hey, Renee's trying to open this. Do you want to give her permission? I don't got time to be giving 50 different people permission. So I changed it to anyone with the link, right? So now let's go back here. As opposed to me sending them to a success message or a thank you page, I just want to send them straight to that document in my Google Drive. So I'm going to paste that in there and hit save. Now, there are other settings that I like to set. So let's go back to settings. Domain name. I customize my ConvertKit with my domain name. You can do that underneath your account settings. Then you could also give it a name. So I can say free coloring book. So FCB. So this is .ck/free coloring book, right? So I'm just going to open that up in its own little tabby. So as opposed to it having like weird numbers, I could send people to citizensense.ck.page/FCB for free coloring book, right? And already it's coming together. It's coming together. Let's go back to settings. Incentive. By default, people have to confirm that they want to be on your email list. I don't do that. I just turn that off and do automatic conversions. It is recommended that you do it. I'm not going to go through why I don't. I just don't. Leave it at that. So automatically you put your name and your email, you're on my list. You don't have to do conversion, double confirmations. I don't do it. If you want to do it, you can. Advanced, I leave that alone. SEO, I'm just going to say Fresh Start Coloring Book. Free gift download for women entrepreneurs. Obviously, if you wanted to optimize your page, you could add more keywords, things of that nature. I'm just keeping it simple, all the way simple. Let me hit save, publish, right? What else do I want to do? Honestly, I think that's it. I honestly just wanted to customize it, and I could create an automation. Do you want me to create an automation? Let me know. I could create an automation. But I basically just created a page where if they put in their name and their email, they will get this document inside of my Google Drive. That's number one. If you want me to do automated email sequences, say yeah or no. If you say nothing, I'm not going to do it. So next option is give it as a free gift or sell it, okay? So you could sell things inside of your ConvertKit, which is pretty cool, right? I'm going to go under the Earn tab and create a new product, which is what I've done here. Then I'm going to call this product the Fresh Start Coloring Journal. Now, this product is just, it could be a product or a subscription. It's going to be a product. I'm going to hit next. standard, pay what you want, or a payment plan. Standard. Let's say I sell this digital coloring book for, I'm going to say 7, but honestly it's 12 pages. I'll probably sell it for like $2. Okay? Now, if you just created a ConvertKit account, when you go to earn, you have to connect it to your Stripe, put in your banking information. I already did that. I don't have to do that, but I'm just letting you know. You do have to have a Stripe account connected to Stripe to be able to accept payments through your ConvertKit account. Okay? Now I'm going to hit next. It's a digital product, so I want to upload the digital file. Let's find that real quick, like so, like that. And it should upload, okay? Hopefully it takes less time than MagCloud. I don't know what was going on there. Hopefully that is uploaded, but we'll see in a minute. And then I'm going to hit next. So Fresh Start Coloring Journal, create product. So give this product an image. I already uploaded that, so let's just go grab it right here. Fresh Start Coloring Book. Stay motivated to move forward, boss. Download your Fresh Start Coloring Journal today. 1 PDF file included. Use as a digital coloring book with the Good Notes app, or print at home for personal use. So then let's just change the background color to my purple. Let's change this. I tend not to like it to be so round, the button. Maybe a download now. Download now. Save, publish. Copy. There you go. Literally in less than 5 minutes, I created this as a digital product for purchase. So if they purchase it, I get $7. Then they get to download this PDF, right? Now, I can do a discount code. Let's go over to settings. Let's do discounts. It's $7. Let's say I want to give them $5 discount. Either you could do a dollar amount, flat rate, or a percentage. So let's do a dollar amount. I'm going to give them $5 off. And you could limit it to like the first 50 sales or something. Or you could just say unlimited. Anybody who has the code can use it, right? So now, let's go to Save, Publish. Before I publish, I'm going to turn on discount code. You can have as many discount codes as you want. When you click a discount code, it's going to give you the link with the code in it. So as opposed to sending people here where they can get it for $7, I would give them a new link that now they can get it for $2. So you can create discount codes as well. Last thing I'll show you here when it comes to products is order bumps. Because the client was like, you could do that in ConvertKit? I was like, absolutely. So you got the Fresh Start Coloring Book, right? Let's say I go to Settings, and I go to Upsell, right? And here I can add on a product. I have something called the Fresh Start 90-day program. Let's say I go, listen, you can join my Fresh Start program, and you can unlock 7 monthly mini templates, and I'm going to give you 50% off of that. Okay? Save, publish. So what does that look like? So now, let's first hit refresh. You see they can buy this product for $2. When they hit download now, there is now an upsell offer. As opposed to spending $300 on Fresh Start, they can get it for $148. They can add that, and now the offer goes from them spending $2 to now spending $150, right? I would, of course, maybe add information here. Hey, do you want to create your own digital books? Join the Fresh Start program. Add that on with your purchase or something like that, right? But inside of ConvertKit, not only can you create landing pages, build your list, send out emails to your audience, but you could also create products and sell those products, either one time or even subscriptions. We're not going to do subscriptions today, but there are a lot of cool things that you can do. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask, okay? I'm going to check the chat, and hopefully I still have my recording on. Hi, Tony. Welcome, welcome. Automation, please. Awesome. So Dee would like to see some automation. So let me first backtrack. So far I've showed you two things. Number one, how you could set up and sell a digital product in ConvertKit. Number two, how you could give it away as a freebie, right? Number three, you want to create automation. Let's do that. Number three. So hold on, quick power pause. Oh, first let me explain automation, what that would be. I'll give you an example, explain it, and then set it up. If you were to sign up to this and just right now as it is, put your email in, number one, you get on my general email list, and number two, you would automatically get the Google document to download. But what if I wanted to go a step further? What if I wanted to, number one, email you and say, hey, thank you so much. Click here to download your guide. I wanted to, every time somebody signs up, send them a welcome email and also tag them. What does tag mean? Tag means you attach a keyword to that person, where maybe the keyword is Fresh Start Journal. So I know that not only are they on my general list, but they signed up specifically for the Fresh Start Journal. So tagging attaches keywords onto your subscribers. So literally you can see what they've opted into, what they're interested in as part of your community, okay? So I'm actually going to be, it's funny, Donia is here with us. I'm working on a landing page for her today before her session, but creating landing pages is what I do. So being able to help you DIY here, set it up, or if you want support in having me do it for you, I can certainly do that as well, right? So let's go to an example. SistaSims.com / FCJ for free coloring journal. So if you come here, SistaSims.com / FCJ, very similar to that other page, right? Put your name, put your email, and say access now. Takes you to a web page. You can take people wherever you want to take them. You can take them to a thank you page, a page on your website. You can take them to a store. You can take them to your Google Drive, wherever you want to take them. I took them here. They get here, they get to watch a video, and then they can also download the document. So there's a couple of things they can do on that page, right? I set that up that not only will they get added to my list, but they will get a welcome message. There's an automated sequence that is set up and attached to that landing page. I said, do you want to know? You guys said, yeah. So let me show you how you do that. So, okay, I'm still recording. Sigh of relief. Where do we leave off? So we created this page, right? Once the page is set up, you created a landing page. What you have to do is create an automated sequence. So let's do that next. You see that automate tab? I'm going to go there now. Okay, so underneath automations, I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to create a new automation from scratch. I'm going to call this the Fresh Start Coloring Journal Free Gift. Okay, start building. So there are different things that you can do. Join a form is basically a step. So I'm going to say if they follow the first step, which is to join the Fresh Start form, and apologies because it is, for some reason, sometimes it cuts it off. I don't know why it does that, but I can kind of tell because I called it the Fresh Start Coloring Journal. So let's take my time and see if I can find it, because I have lots of landing pages, as you can tell. Minding My Business, that's the other one. I'm looking for Fresh Start Coloring Journal. Somebody says it's usually the last one. It's not for me. It usually is not for me. I have so many in there, it's not. Let me make sure that I saved it and hit refresh so the name has saved. And then I'm going to go back to visualizations and start building, look for form, and try my best to see if I can find it. I'm going to go really slow because otherwise I will take way too much time doing this. It would be great if it was the last one, but it's not. For me, it usually is somewhere in the mix of everything else. There we go. I just kind of had to get still. All right. So this is an automation, which is a series of rules, right? So I created from scratch a new automation, and the first thing I'm saying is ConvertKit. If somebody signs up to this form, what do I want you to do? First thing I want you to do is to add them to a tag. Remember I said to you a tag is a keyword? So I'm going to create a new tag, and I'm going to call this tag the Fresh Start Coloring Journal Free Gift. Now, if the tag was already created, it would show up. If it's not created, it's going to show Create New Tag. Of course, I did not hit it. I hit something random. So, Fresh Start Coloring Journal Free Gift. Then I'm going to have to hit Create New Tag. Now it's created, so I can add the action. So it's just a series of steps. Step one, if somebody signs up to the form, automatically tag them. I could stop right there. I'm going to show you guys full step automation, so I'm going to do one more step. Add them to an email sequence. In an email sequence, you can add 1 or 100 plus emails that automatically will go out to them. I'm going to create the Fresh Start Coloring Journal Gift email sequence. If it's there, great. If it's not, you got to click the blue Create New Sequence. Okay, add action. So the sequence is created, but it's empty. So now what I have to do is actually fill it out. So let's go to Edit Step. Okay, now this right here is the first email. They by default put stuff in here to kind of instruct you on how to create sequences. I don't really need any of this, so I'm just going to delete all of it, okay? Also, by default, when you create an email sequence, it goes out the next day. If somebody signs up now, I want them to get the email now. I don't want them to have to wait 24 hours to see the welcome email. So I always change that from 1 to 0, okay? which then changes it to immediate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say here, download, and this is your Fresh Start Coloring Journal. I'm going to keep the email super, super simple. I'm going to say hi, and then personalization. Click the little plus button. See that little plus button appears? I'm going to click that, and I'm going to look for personalization, and I'm going to add their first name. If you don't ask for their first name in the form, you cannot add their first name in emails. I love to personalize, which is why I always require their first name. So it's going to say, hi, Jeanette. Click here to download your Fresh Start Coloring Journal. Thank you so much for choosing Sister Sense. I'd love to know what you think. Share your thoughts. Check in if you have any questions for me. LaShonda Henry, your business bestie. Now, obviously, I need to read that just to see if I have any typos or whatever, but in the interest of time, I'm going to just keep it on. Let's go grab that link real quick, right? So let's copy this link. Because here's the deal, right? When they fill out that form, they're automatically going to get the freebie, but guess what? Sometimes people, even though they get that automatic step, they don't do it, so they need a welcome email to be able to say, oh, here, by the way, if you didn't get it, here it is, right, to follow up with them. If you have a free ConvertKit account, I don't think you can do sequences and automation, but that's another story for another day. So it's a simple email that just says, hey, Renee, click here to download your Fresh Start Coloring Journal. Thank you so much for choosing Sister Sense. I'd love to know what you think. Share your thoughts. Check in if you have any questions. Your business bestie, LaShonda Henry. That email is going to go out to them immediately. Now, I'm going to hit the publish button. I don't have to add any more emails, but me being me, I can. I'm going to do add an email. Now, that email says 1 day, which means that after they get the first email, then a day later, they'll get another one. I'm going to do 3 days later. So hi, let's do their first name again. Oops. That is not what I wanted to do. Not paste, personalization. Did you download your coloring journal yet? Right? So I can make sure I double check in with them, give them the coloring journal. Do you need help staying motivated? Click here to download the Stay Positive guide. Click here to watch my videos on YouTube. Check in if you need anything else. Now, I'm just off the cuff writing, okay? I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just random. But if you did want to follow up, remind them of the download, share something else, you certainly can. So I do have another series called sistersense.com/stay positive. Oh, I know what it is. It's a part of the Stay Paid bundle. Stay Positive is a part of Stay Paid. Yep. So I'm going to put that in here, number 1. Okay, click here to download the Stay Paid plus Stay Positive guides. And then if they want to find me on YouTube, they can go to my pop-up page. I can't remember if it's pop-up or pop-ups. I feel like it's pop-ups. Let's double check. Pop-ups. Always good to double check your links. Yep, it's pop-ups with an S. And it's always good to copy the link from the address bar so that you know that you spelled it correctly, especially if you type really fast like me. So this email will go out 3 days after the first one published. Okay, so does that make sense? If you did just want to send it out, simple landing page, and then automatically redirect them to a thank you page or to the actual lead magnet, that's fine. But you can use a combination of creating an email sequence plus creating an automation to move forward. Now, you notice it says this automation isn't active. That's because by default, it is not active. So what I want to do now is click the active button so that I can turn on the automation, which means at this point, anybody who goes to that link, they sign up, they get the freebie, plus they will begin to automatically get emails from me. There's only 2 emails in this sequence. If I did want to add more, I could. But once somebody goes through it, they goes through it. Unless you change it underneath settings so that they go through it and they stay in it and you can add more to it later. If you don't change it to that setting, once they go through it, they go through it. They'd have to sign up again if you wanted them to get access to any new emails you add to it. Another story for another day. Won't make it any more complicated than I already am. Well, hopefully that makes sense to you. Any questions about automation, feel free to check in with me and ask. Okay. You're welcome. All right, so last thing, let's see if I can go back to MadCloud. Okay, so obviously there was a glitch because the file is so small, it shouldn't have taken that long, but I just tried it again. So it looks like it's just about finished uploading. This bleed error, I always just ignore it because when I print it, it's totally fine. So I'm just going to go to proceed with this particular PDF. So now you can see it's an 8.5 by 11. It's got 12 pages. Create this PDF. Now, if you are somebody like me, you've got an event coming up, or you want to add these to some sort of physical product, MadCloud is absolutely perfect, especially when it comes to creating things that are less than 30, 40 pages, right? So you can actually scroll through your documents. Anything over the red line is no good, no bueno. So just want to make sure you keep your stuff within the red line. Now for photos, anything over the red line honestly is fine because, I mean, it's a graphic, but anything that's main content you kind of want to keep inside the innards. And it's pretty cute, right? I can kind of scroll through just to make sure all the pages are what I want them to be, baby. And then I can purchase. So literally, this is 20 cents a page. It's $2.40, right? It's small. It's 12 pages. But if I was doing an event, had like, you know, a few ladies in the room, 10, 20 ladies in the room, I could print out a bunch of these and put them in their bags, order them, and be off to the races, right? Now, you do, I think you get 15% off when you buy in bulk. And then you can even sell this on your store. I wouldn't sell this on my store because it's so small. I would beef it up, you know, make it, 30, 40 pages if I was going to sell like a physical version of this to make it really work. I mean, for somebody to have to pay for this, pay for the product and pay for shipping, unless I was doing a small version for my own in-person event or giving them the digital copy for a print one that I'm selling, I would beef it up. Outside of that, once you can either upload and then privately purchase your stuff in MagCloud, or you can sell it publicly on the platform. I also mentioned to you one of my other favorite platforms is Issuu, right? So if you go over to sistasense.com, you can find me here on Issuu, and you can actually see a few of the things that I've created. One of my favorite brands to follow is Izzy and Liv. They are a company with some really cute products, and they've got they've got more than a few of their issues. They have a subscription box, and in every box there is a physical magazine issue. Those of you who are in the Fresh Start program, creating magazines is something else that we talk about, and there's a template in there. Today we're just focusing on coloring pages, okay? Now, keep in mind this is a 2-day workshop, and tomorrow we're going to do guides. Today we're focusing on coloring pages, but hopefully this kind of gives you a sense of what you can do. Now, let me go over to my SistaSense follow. Oh, I have to log in. I wanted to show you there are some really nice magazines that have subscriptions literally inside of Issuu, where you could pay for the subscription in this platform. So if you wanted to create something ongoing, you could either sell the print or digital in a MagCloud store, or you could sell subscriptions in ConvertKit. You could also sell subscriptions in Issuu. Honestly, there are a lot of options available to you, okay? But hopefully this in and of itself was helpful to give you a sense of what you can do. So let's go back over to our presentation. Any final questions or comments? Now would be the time to ask. And as you're doing that, I am going to wrap up our session for today. So number one, I really hope you've enjoyed this session. Again, 2-day Printer Profits Experience. We are on day number 1. You had an opportunity to download the example, the Minding My Business Coloring Journal, number 1. And then number 2, get a sense of what you can do when it comes to creating your own coloring book, whether you offer it to your audience strictly digital, print on demand, or even one-time offer, free offer, subscription offer. Sky's the limit. You got options, right? We talked about your project and also your profits. I also broke down several things that you can do inside of Canva using Canva's AI tool, using my template, as well as other platforms where you can sell your products in either print or digital format. So that's it. That's the wrap. We went through pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you. I will keep you posted on tomorrow's session. I may change the time, but we're going to have our session for tomorrow, and I'm going to talk to you about how to grow with guides and create another type of print or digital self-published book that you can offer to your audience. So I'm going to give you guys the last call opportunity to check in with me. Let me know if you have any final questions and or comments. You can either just jump into the chat or unmute yourself, 1 or 2. On the replay side, also make sure that you join us in the Facebook group over at firestarters.sistasense.com. As you're working in Canva, literally you can click the gray tab. You can hit share, put my email, sistasense@gmail.com, and share your coloring book project with me if you would like me to see. And then I also mentioned sistasense.com/her marketplace. Her marketplace is a showcase of me showcasing the different things that you guys have created as a result of working on the different types of digital and print projects that I share with you inside the circle. So if you did want to be featured, make sure you share your product with me. Canva, you can post it in the Facebook group. You can email me, sistasense@gmail.com. And, of course, if you do need extra help, I got you. I do offer both done-with-you and done-for-you support services. So outside of you using this training to DIY your way to print-on-demand success, yes, of course, you've got me and the community here to support you too, okay? So once again, thank y'all so much for joining me for today's session, catching it live and or on the replays side. Keep in connection, because like I said, I'll keep you posted on exactly when and what time we're going to do part 2. Until then, go forth, create your amazing.